Yo, what's going on, guys? Cordy here, and welcome back to the Paragon Heroes Guide. Today's hero is going to be Adele. Adele is going to be the next tank that is in line for the Paragon roster, for the Paragon Overprime roster. We just had Greystone, who was a tank, and now we have another tank. I thought she was going to be a warrior because she had physical stats she had physical damage in the test server, but they changed her. She's going to be a tank. She does magical damage. So let's go over the kit really quick. Pretty simple kit, honestly. Not too difficult. So for the first ability, let me hold you. This ability is going to be a whip. Actually, let me take off Instacast so you guys can see. It's a line attack. Whenever you landed on something, you do damage. Now, if that is a hero that you line your whip to, you're going to actually root them for a second, and you'll dash to their location. You'll pull yourself to their location. So this is a really good ability to like provide a little bit of CC in her kit. This is kind of like really the only CC she has in her kit. This is kind of her main CC kit and her engage. Now the second ability, the beautiful scent, your beautiful scent. This is gonna be her main damaging ability. So you swing your sword around. You're gonna swing it 3 times. The third hit is gonna deal true damage equal to 1% of their max health, and then you're also gonna recover some health back as well in mana. But this is that is the ability right there. So that is her second ability, your beautiful scent. That is gonna be her E ability. Okay. So pretty straightforward AoE attack, very simple ability. That's gonna be your main ability right there. Her third ability, her right click, is gonna be her shield. This ability gets pretty crazy late game, but at level 1, you get a shield. Once you use your shield, it'll gradually deplete over 3 seconds. You also become slow when you're using your shield. So your movement speed is going to get slowed by 20%. You can see, let's do, I'll show you guys like this. Let's go reset. Actually, let me get out of here because I'm in sprint mode. Okay, so this is how the normal base movement speed is with the shield. It's a little bit slower. There you go. You can see the movement speed slow there. So with the shield, it gives you a shield. You're going to be slowed by 20%, and it'll gradually deplete over 3 seconds. Or if you take a lot of damage and it depletes itself, using this skill again or using another skill immediately removes the shield. So if I were to pop the shield and immediately use an ability, the shield goes away. So keep that in mind when you're using your shield. Ideally, whenever you're fighting and you jump onto somebody, you're gonna jump on them with that, pop that ability, then you'll get your shield out to get a couple basic attacks while you're fighting, waiting for your abilities to come back up, and then you'll go through your cycle rotation again. So you want to use that shield to the shield is there to absorb damage and to wait for your abilities to come back up a cooldown. So that's her right click. Now her ultimate is an AoE ability that you jump up, summon a thorn bush on the ground. It's going to deal true damage equal to the target's max health. Also, it's going to decrease their physical defense and their magical defense, and these do scale up as you get it leveled up. And it'll slow them for 40%. The slow effect does deplete over 2 seconds after escaping the thorn bush. For non-heroes, it deals up to 70 damage, at level 1. Now, this is her ultimate ability. It is a good teamfight ultimate. However, the only bad thing about this ultimate is while you're in combat, the enemy team is usually going to be backpedaling, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I don't like her ultimate that well. And honestly, some people don't even level this up all the way. They will max out the whip, the right click, and the E ability before they level up the ultimate. Being when you're in combat, they're backpedaling. When you're doing this animation, they're almost already out of the thorn bush at that point. So your ultimate usually doesn't really hit unless you can kind of group them up and you can get behind them or something to use your ultimate. But some people don't level up the ultimate right away. It does pretty good damage if they stay in the thorn bush. Usually you might get like 1 tick out of it and people are gonna leave. But that's gonna be her kit. Pretty standard right click or left click also, by the way. Pretty standard left click. So that is Adele. She is going to be a tank. Build her as a tank. I'll show you the builds that I've been going. Some people have tried to mess around and go with a... Ding dong. Some people try to go around with a damage build. I don't recommend the damage build. Your only damaging ability is going to be your E ability. Your right click does scale with magical damage, so you can get a bigger shield, and it could be like a meme where you can like go a lot of damage, just have a bigger shield because it has 80% scaling on it. But for me, and I think for a lot of other people, you just want to build her as a tank. You want to get in the back line, be a meat shield, use your shield, and just kind of disrupt the back line. That is that's what her focus is. So as far as leveling order, for me, when I'm playing Adele, I'm usually playing in the jungle. If you're gonna play in the solo, this should work as well. But at level 1, you're gonna get your second ability. You're gonna get your E ability. That'll be at level 1. At level 2, I get the chain, just in case I'm looking to gank somebody when I'm rotating, or to help me clear a little bit quicker in the jungle. I could and then use my whip on the minions. So when I'm doing the jungle, I'll go up, do this, whip them just to get a little bit of damage while I'm jungling. And then after that, your third ability is going to be your right click. And then from there, for me, I'm going to prioritize my second ability. So I'm going to max out my 2. You're going to get your ultimate whenever you can. You'll get your ultimate. 2 is going to be maxed out first. Then for me, I like to max out the right click over my first ability. The right click gives you a lot of shield. As you can see right there, whenever you get it maxed out, it's 1,100 base damage, or base. So you'll get 1,114 shield, and you can see right now, it is a massive shield. So I get this maxed out second, and then the ultimate, and then I'm gonna go back and do my first ability. The first ability doesn't reduce the cooldown; it just gives you a little bit more damage, which isn't gonna be that much. So that is gonna be the last in the leveling order. So max out the E first, the right click, the ultimate, and then gonna be your Q, your first ability. All right, so now that is how you kind of play and level up Adele. Let's go to a different screen, and I'm gonna show you how I build Adele for the jungle, and also can be applied in the solo as well. All right, so as far as building Adele, so for Adele, you're gonna build her like a tank. Like I said before, she's better played as a tank rather than a damage dealer. So if you're playing her in the jungle, or if you're playing her in the solo lane, this build can pretty much be viable for both roles. Now, if you're playing in the jungle, they do have new spells. It's called the new karma system, where whenever you start the game, whenever you start a lobby, you'll pick which spells you're going to get. Ideally, you want to get blink, and you want to get destruction, smite. I can't show it on here unless I queue a game, but it's going to be blink and destruction for the jungle. Or if you're in the solo lane, you can do blink and scout, or blink and recovery. Scout just allows you to get more gold over the period of the game. Recovery just gives you a little bit of health recovery in lane. So either one of those will be viable in the solo lane. But as far as builds go, what I do is I start when I'm doing the jungle. I'm going to get a rechargeable health potion. I'm going to get the sap of sacred tree, which builds into the mask. The mask we won't get until we clear a few camps. Then we get the mask. Then we can go back into the jungle to help us clear a little bit quicker. So this deals 12 damage to nearby enemies per second. So this right here is just going to help you clear a lot quicker in the jungle. Our clear is already pretty decent. This just kind of escalates it. Once you get this completed, the first item that we're going to buy to is going to be Xemia's Toy. Kind of same thing. It's going to help you get clearing. You're going to do more damage whenever you get this fully completed. You get this completed, you'll be able to do more damage through the jungle, as well as when you gank, you can try to stick on people and do more damage with Xemia's Toy. Now, the second item that I go into is going to depend on the enemy team. Normally, I would probably go into a Pendant of Confinement. This is just going to give me some magical defense, some cooldown, and then whenever on the passive, whenever I use an ability, my next basic attack will slow the enemy team while also doing damage. So this is good to help to do a little bit more damage while you're team fighting and ganking Also, while you're clearing the jungle, this will help as well. So normally I'm going to go with this second item. The third item is going to depend on how the game is going. If the carry is becoming a problem, if the ranger is becoming a problem, then I'll prioritize physical defense. If the magical is a problem on the enemy team, then I'll prioritize more magical defense. So if the carry, if the physical damage is a problem, depending on what they have, if they're going to be building a crit, I'll go ahead and get Guardian of Helene. That way I could just nullify more crit damage. It'll also give me a little bit more CDR, which is always good. If they're not building crit and they have lifesteal in their kit, or if there's a lot of healing on the enemy team, then I would go ahead and get Zinx Claw Bear. Zinx Claw Bear is just really good. 60 physical defense, 300 health, but you're going to reflect 10% damage to the enemy. So whoever's hitting you, they're going to take 10% damage. Also, you're going to reduce the healing by 40%. So the enemy team is healing a good amount. This will be a good item to slot in as well for the third or second item, just kind of depending on the game situation. If physical is not an issue and magical is going to be a problem on the enemy team, or if there's a lot of CC on the enemy team, then I'm going to go into a Blacksmith Scissors. It's going to give you magical defense, 400 health, 30% tenacity, and then whenever you get hit with the CC, you recover 2% max health. There is a new item that I did not include on this, which could be viable. I just kind of want to make it really simplified for you guys that this is the items that you could pick and you'll do fine. But there is another item. This could be situational. It's Star's Grace. It has 50 magical defense, 300 health, 20% tenacity, so you're missing a little bit of tenacity, but you get 10 CDR for it. Whenever you use your ultimate, you will gain CC immunity, so you'll get crowd control immunity whenever you use your ultimate. Also, your teammates around you will get crowd control immunity for 1.5 seconds. So this is a pretty good item as well. I'm going to put this in there just so you guys are aware of it. You could replace this item with Blacksmith Scissors. You're missing a little bit of tenacity, but you're getting CDR for it. And it's a different passive. So you kind of choose whichever you feel like might be more beneficial in that situation for those team fights. But that'll be if you need magical defense and you need something to deal with if they have a lot of crowd control. If they have like Aurora, if they have a Rampage who, a lot of stuns, roots, whatever it may be, any one of these items will be good for you to help you reduce that crowd control. Now, if there isn't a lot of crowd control on the enemy team, but the magical damage is a problem, another item that you can go into is going to be Swamp Cloak. This is going to give you defense, health, and cooldown, and it's also going to give slow nearby enemies. So it'll allow you to stick to them a lot longer, allow your Zima toy to do more damage. Whenever you ult, you can do a little bit more ticks of your damage. Remember I said before, your ult, people can escape the ult pretty easily. This will maybe help a little bit more to keep them in combat around your ult. Now, kind of towards the end of the build, or if you're doing fine on whatever items you have, you don't really need any more physical defense, you don't need any more magical defense, like you're pretty set on your build. A good item to go to always is going to be healing nano machines. This is going to give you a big burst of health. 800 health is going to give you some health regen. 10 CDR is always great, especially on Aurora. On Adele. You can get more shields up, you can get more pulls, so you can stay on to that target. But out of combat, you're going to recover 3% of your max health every second out of combat. So whenever you have a team fight, if you disengage from that team fight, you can recover a little bit of health while you're out of combat. And then another thing too, having more health on your character increases the damage of Zima's toy. So Zima's toy is your max health plus 8 per second. So however much, whenever you get more healing, it'll do more damage. So these two kind of synergize a little bit with one another. But this is a very simple build. There's other items for sure that you can build for Adele to experiment. But if you're new to the game and you're new to playing Adele, just put this in your pre-selects and you should be fine for the game. I will be putting another video up with this build showing me playing using this build in game, so you guys can see what it looks like. So look out for that video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I do a lot of these videos. I try to get new heroes and new gameplays of the new heroes. That way you guys can see how it's played and kind of learn through that. So if you guys like that kind of content, definitely like the video. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.